Hi everyone, welcome back to She Leads View. I'm Vishakha, and today we are joined by someone whose journey reminds us of the success that doesn't happen in one area. It happens across many. Our guest today is Chudier Nayak, an incoming student at Yale University studying molecular, cellular, and development biology. Throughout high school, she has balanced research, leadership, mock trial, DECA, athletics, academics, and even part-time work. Chudia, welcome to the She Leads to podcast. It's really great to have you here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, before starting, like, let's just know more about you. Who is Chudia when nobody's looking at the resume? Like, who are you a part of your resume?
Who am I aside from my resume? Well, currently in school, I would say I'm a part of uh, a research lab. Um, I go to class and whatnot, but I would say on a more personal level, um, I have a twin sister, and I enjoy hanging out with my friends and going back home. I'm from Bensalem, Pennsylvania, which is a town right outside of Philadelphia. So it's actually very close to school, and I go there quite often.
Ah, that's great. Got it. What's something that people assume about you that is completely wrong?
Well, I've had people say that I'm a little intimidating, um, which I think is completely the opposite of who I really am. Would consider myself a pretty friendly person. I'm a little bit introverted, so I do tend to keep to myself sometimes, but I love meeting people, and I think college is a great place to do that. And I've been able to do that over the course of a year, which I've really enjoyed.
Yeah. Yep, you're gonna network a lot in our college. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't seem like an intimidating person. So yeah,
Yeah,
no
I'm
worries.
quite surprised when people say that. My roommate told me that when I moved in, and I was like, really, me? Um,
Really?
yeah, I know a lot of people also get that comment, and I feel like the people that do are the complete opposite as well. So I don't
I
think
guess that's maybe because maybe you might be like a little introverted or like have your own boundaries. So maybe people tend to
right.
think that way sometimes. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
happened
once
with
you get to
me
know me,
once.
I'm very bubbly. Yeah.
Got it. How would your best friend introduce you to like a group of people?
I would say friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would say very passionate, not necessarily just in an academic sense, but I feel like with my interests and my hobbies, I kind of get very like deep into it. I'm very passionate about those. Yeah, I would say those two.
If I meet like a 50-year-old self, like what would 15-year-old should you be obsessed with?
Um, BTS, to be honest.
Got it.
And like also the thought of getting into like college. Those are my two obsessions at the time.
What were like your college choices like when you were dreaming about getting into college? So like what were like your dream colleges?
This is pretty basic, but like Harvard. Harvard was my dream for like the longest time. Like I think I was just young and I didn't really I just heard the name Harvard. I think out of any school, like that's what I knew. And I knew it was a prestigious school, so like it was a good motivator. But like around like when I was like 16, I visited Yale for the first time and that's when I like fell in love with the campus and knew I wanted to go here.
Got it. And like, did you ever attend like a BTS concert or something?
No, like
Uh,
unfortunately, I've actually never been to a concert, but I think if I could go to one concert, it'd be a BTS one. Like they just came back, but like the tickets are like super expensive, but that's a
yeah,
dream.
it is. But yeah, fingers crossed someday.
Yeah, one day. Do you have any
One day.
interest in BTS?
A little bit, yeah. I'm more inclined towards Taylor Swift, Selena, One
Okay.
Direction, Harry Styles, and all that. But yeah, I do. So yeah.
Okay.
Do you think that you've as a person changed a lot, like ever since you started the application, got into Yale or something like that? Like, do you
Right.
think like something in you changed when you got the admit or when you started preparing for the application or something like that?
Um, I definitely I think there was like a version of me before college applications, during college applications, and after. I
Mm-hmm.
think like before I was definitely working up to like applying to college. I was doing my best to like seem like marketable or like appealing to colleges, like building up my resume. And then during the college application process, I think I was very stressed, as like everyone is. But also at the same time, I think I took a lot of time to like have fun and enjoy senior year. And like I was still focused on my academics, but not as much as I was before. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I found joy in other things than academics. And I think now I've definitely like chilled out a lot since then. I think I'm way less intense about like school. It kind of feels like I've made it. Like I can kind of coast by a little bit
Yeah.
until like I apply to med school and whatnot. But definitely I have a time to like breathe and like take it easier.
Yeah, and also it's like once you get in that college, once you get that college admit, you tend to just chill a bit. That
Yeah,
enjoy your school until it lasts and everything. Because college is gonna be crazy hectic. Because there are just
yeah,
so many
exactly.
people doing so many things at the same time. So I guess it might also get overwhelming for you. But yeah, so yeah, that's great. Um, Now I just wanted to talk to you about the pressure of being like the smartest kid. So, was there like ever a time when you just felt that you are just behind and like a lot of people around?
I think at a place like Yale, it's very easy to feel that way. Because you're around kids who are like all like valedictorians of their school, like the best at the sport that they played, the smartest in their class. And there's always like different standards for everyone, depending on the high school you went to, the place that you grew up, just like the opportunities you had around you. So like, I think especially for me and like a lot of people that talk to and that I've met, I know that it's interesting because the thing that you like try your hardest to get, like the most like prestigious or the most impressive thing on your resume, might not even compare to somebody else's who might be like
Yeah.
an Olympian or like worked had an internship at like JP or something crazy. But I think that while there you might get like a little bit of imposter syndrome, I think just
Hmm.
being here itself is like a testament of like your own intelligence and like how much work that we've put in to get here. Um, so I try my best not to compare to other people. And everyone has their strengths, everyone has their weaknesses. So I think that sort of balance also allows me to feel less like intimidated by other people's accomplishments and whatnot.
And it's always good to not compare ourselves to others because there will always
Right.
be that some people who have, done crazy things better than you. So there
Yeah.
will be always those sort of people around you. So it's better that we just don't compare ourselves to that. It's always
Yeah.
better comparing your past version to your current and yeah, your current to the future. But yeah.
Yeah, it's been very helpful actually to be around people who are better than me in like so many ways. I think it helped me realize that very quickly. It's just like no matter what, like we're gonna be different, so might as well just accept myself and what I've done and be proud of that.
Yeah, that's really great because I've seen a lot of people comparing themselves to others, and then like it just it's like so like what do we say? Like they just get so tensed about it that oh my God,
Yeah.
people around me are doing so many
It's like
great things and
exhausting. Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty exhausting for them to just think about it that way. That so many people have done such various things, and where am I standing? So I guess it's always better to just ignore that and just don't compare yourself with anyone else around you because everyone's just different and everyone has their different areas of interest. So yeah,
Right.
Yeah. Also wanted to know, like, what's that challenge that you face that nobody around you really saw, but it's like something prominent?
Um, I would say that I kind of struggle with like staying motivated, which I think a lot of people struggle with. But I found this like out during like college applications. Definitely, I just like kind of gave up. So praise God that I ended up here, but it was very hard to do that. And I think just like the past semester, balancing everything that I was like taking on, I think I was trying to be like a well-rounded student, and like seek out like research and like join extracurriculars and like still like keep up with my grades. But I think I felt very much like pulled in like every direction. Um, and it was definitely hard. I think now that the semester is over, I'm able to like look back and just like say that it went well. But I think while I was like in the thick of it, it was pretty rough. But I also think that not that many people knew because I was also like in the library and like by myself. I was like hiding away, so
So,
but it
like,
worked out.
you usually like going to libraries or something like that?
Yes, it depends. I have like it depends on the day and it depends on the time of day. I think if I'm trying to pull an all-nighter, I won't be at the library. I'll be like at an empty classroom or something. But if it's like in the middle of the day, I like the library.
Got it. Um, when things just weren't going well with you, like, what was something that just kept you going?
To be honest, the fact that I was at Yale kept me going. Um, I think it's very easy to be caught in like your bubble, and you're just like on autopilot, just going, going, going. And I think one day I would just wake up and like, oh my gosh, I'm at Yale. Like that's crazy. Like I never thought I would be here. And I kind of can't like flop as a result. I have to like put my best foot forward. I don't. I would say that that didn't always work. I think there are some times where I still fumbled a little bit and was wasn't as like focused as I'd want to be. But I think overall that definitely helped. And it's just like I prayed for this so much. I slaved in like high school for this. Like I can't mess it all up.
Yeah, 100% agree. But like, do you think that being ambitious comes naturally to you?
Um, I think to an extent, I think I have a lot of dreams and I have a lot of things that I want to accomplish, but I think that sometimes I get like a little burnt out pretty quickly and I get a little it's hard I think working towards something when it's like a kind of a long-term goal or it's not something that you can like it's not like instant gratification, I think. So I think like working towards like a long-term goal, it gets a little difficult for me because I can't really see the finish line, and I think that's where I lose some like motivation. But I think that in terms of ambition, like there's a lot I want to do, but it's just like getting there is a little bit more difficult, and that's where I kind of get lost sometimes.
Um, Congratulations to you for like getting into Yale because I'm like the like the application process must be really exhausting for you. So yeah, like
Thank
what
you.
was the hardest part of the admissions process for you?
I'm not sure. I think in terms of Yale, I think writing my application was pretty easy because I was very like passionate about the school. And I was actually so I was very excited to write my application. I think for other schools it was hard to like really start the process and like find like things to write about, especially in like the why us essay, like because I genuinely didn't know. But for Yale, I think I was really speaking from the heart. So I think the essays were fine. They were fun. I enjoyed writing them. I think pacing myself was difficult. I know I applied early action, and then after that I was like, whew, let me take a break. But I feel like regular decision was right around the corner, so I should not have taken that break. So I think the timeline for that was a little difficult for me. Once the new year hit, I was like grinding to get all my applications in.
Do you think like visiting Yale made it much easier for you to write your application?
Yeah, definitely. I wrote specifically about my experience, like seeing the campus, um, and like how I felt on campus. And I don't think I would have applied otherwise, or at least my application wouldn't have been as like genuine if I didn't actually see the campus myself because it is beautiful,
Hmm.
and it has a great
Yeah.
energy, and I think that definitely fueled my writing process.
Yeah, true, 100%. No, Yale campus is genuinely very nice. Even like I saw it on the pictures and everything. So, like, yeah, really aesthetic, very nice, very pleasant. So, yeah.
Very aesthetic. It feels like a movie scene. Like it doesn't feel real.
Yeah, I know, right? It just feels too pretty to be true, but yeah. Um, what do you think is that something that people misunderstand the most about applying to schools like Yale and Harvard, for example?
I think some people assume that you just like have to check the boxes to get in. But I don't, there's not like one type of student they're looking for. I think they're looking to really like diversify um, their like admit class. And I like everyone I talk to has such a different experience, and people come from like everywhere. And I don't think there's one specific thing or like one specific recipe that will get you into these schools. I think just like following your passions, being yourself, and trying to be like high achieving and like do well at all the things that you do is more important than trying to check a singular box.
Got it. Was there like a moment where you thought that there was just no way, like this is happening or something like that?
I think getting in was a surreal experience. I opened my IB Day decisions with my like best friend, and we projected it on my TV. So once I like, and we spun a wheel to pick which school we were gonna open, and the last school was Yale. So when I clicked on my portal and it opened up and I saw the video, I just like even now I'm reliving the feeling. It was just like I genuinely could not believe that was happening. I also think being at Yale, there's like a lot of experiences where I'm just like, is this real life? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like I love the culture, I love the people, but it's just like unlike anything that I've experienced before.
What other colleges did you apply to?
Um, I applied to, in terms of Ivies, I applied to Harvard, Penn, Princeton, Cornell. Um, I applied to Barnard, and I applied to like a few local schools as well in Philadelphia, like Temple, Drexel, like Villanova. Um, Nothing too crazy. I applied to a few safeties, a few like Ivies, and then a few like in between, like top 20s type schools.
But I guess like the point that you also chose schools other than Yale and Harvard is really great because then some people just apply to Ivy, that's it, and then nothing else.
Yeah.
So, but I guess it's not a good deal because then you should always have some sort of backup that if
Yeah.
things go south or something like that, you'll at least have something that you can count on.
Yeah, I think backups are really important. Um, like Yale was my dream school, so there weren't any other schools that I felt really strongly about, but I tried to like diversify um, my like school selection. So like I applied to like Northeastern, BU, like Fordham, like schools that just like I think they would be cool to go to, and I think that like being there would challenge me more so than some of like the safeties that I applied to. But I think like wherever you go, like you can make a great experience out of it. So I think that when people apply, they should just give themselves as many options as they can, like feasibly, because no matter what, I think that you can have a good college experience anyway.
Yeah, of course. And I guess a person can learn a lot from their college and the peers around them also because Yale is like such a diversified school that you'll find people from all over the world, literally, and like the best of the people from the
Genuinely.
world. So yeah, I guess it's really great that you are like being around such great students because that teaches you a lot, and yeah, there's that peer learning. So,
Yeah, exactly.
um, what would you say that what is that something that made your application very authentic?
Um, well, I think that my extracurriculars were pretty authentic. I didn't have a spike in my application. Like I'm a molecular bio major now. I'm pre-med, so I had a few like sciencey like extracurriculars sprinkled throughout. But like my number one extracurricular was like mock trial, which has nothing to do with what um, like my career and professional plans in the future. And I actually got like a note from my admissions officer who said that she liked how I was like committed to making change in everything that I was a part of. So even though like my extracurriculars were very different from each other, they all had that like underlying theme of trying to like make an impact within the activity,
Hmm.
which I think was pretty like authentic to who I am.
Yep, gotcha. Um, what would you change about that one thing that you would change about the process, like the college admissions process?
I think like about the system itself,
What?
um, or my the system itself, or like my experience.
No, like something that you would like to change about like the college admission process.
Okay, that's a good question. I honestly don't know. I think there's definitely things to change. Um, I don't know what was my least favorite part about it.
It's fine, maybe like you're just too excited for the application process that you don't have anything that you would like
I
to
think
change about it.
I think I felt pretty neutral about the process. I think like it was my own like fault that it was so difficult. Like I think it was my my procrastination that was my downfall. Um, I know a lot of people criticize the testing policies, and I think that is fair. I think I would probably change the testing policy. Like right now, they're bringing back a lot of schools, and I think Yale just brought back their like ACT and like SAT requirements, um, which I think does is unfair because it doesn't necessarily reflect um, the differences in like opportunity and resources that students have, especially here in the States. And I think a lot of people are disadvantaged by that requirement who still deserve to be at these schools despite not like scoring well on tests. So I think that's
Yeah.
what I would change.
It's just not fair that you are just judging the student on the basis of their scores
Right.
because again like anything can happen whenever on the exam day
Mhm.
despite of you preparing a lot for like crazy amount of preparation. Despite all that, you can also like not do. I guess it's not like the only metric that a person that a college should judge a person on. But yeah, there should be like a couple of factors, different factors that should be associated with the admission process. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think that there are other ways to gauge intelligence, and I think these tests for a specific type of like knowledge and
Yeah.
like affinity for test taking. And I would consider myself a test like a good test taker, and even like the SAT, it wasn't my favorite. And like I submitted my test scores, so I'm not even like, but I can still see like the flaw in the system.
Yeah.
And it's
Got
unnecessarily stressful for people. Like
hmm.
people are some people make it like it's like all consuming. And I just feel like that's not like healthy.
I agree 100%. But yeah, you were like also working while you were studying, right? So, tell me about balancing both work and school simultaneously.
Um, I would say for me personally, I think it was hard, but I think that having like work, having school to fill my schedule helped me be more productive than if I had just like lots of free time. I noticed this in high school too, like when I would like do a sport versus in the off season. It helped me like really like organize my schedule better because I had less free time, so I had no choice but to be like smarter in how I was using my time. So I think it definitely was stressful, a little bit exhausting, but I think that it helped me be more organized overall. Um, I think there is some merit to like focusing on school fully and not working. Um, I was working more so for like the experience and to add to like my future application. But I know a lot of people have to work for money and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, so I think people need to weigh the pros and cons and just try their best to be organized.
Yeah, of course. And are you like a person who just can't sit idle and just need to have like a fixed schedule of things that gets to be done?
I mean, I will say I can sit around. Like, I definitely can do that. I just think in order to be productive, and like I feel better having like a loaded schedule and going from one thing to another. Like, I don't even like it like gaps in my schedule. Um, that's why I take morning classes, so I can just like knock out all my classes in one chunk and then have the rest of the day free to like delegate to other things. I think decision fatigue definitely gets to me. So if I'm not planning something ahead of time and if I don't have like actual obligations to do, um, I will end up doing nothing, which isn't great. Yeah.
um, what did like having a job change your relationship with time in general?
Um, yes, I think so. I think the last semester it made me value new things and like be more intentional with like the time I was making with like to see friends and like grab meals with people, especially like since I wouldn't see them in my like day like in my actual day like when I'm going to class when I'm going to work. So I really had to make more of an effort in that regard. Um, and I think it also made me more serious about my sleeping time. Like I was just like I
Yeah.
have to sleep from this time to this time. I can't like lay in bed and like scroll. Like I actually need to sleep now. So I think that helped.
And like a lot of people of our age, they do, like tend to play with their sleep schedules just to
Yeah.
get like a lot of work done. And I have
Yeah.
seen my friends and people I know just sleeping for like 3, 4 hours just to get through life. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's so bad because you gotta sleep well. Because if you don't sleep well, it just affects the productivity too. Like that's what I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah, I think I definitely was a victim of that, unfortunately, from time to time. But I think that also made me more serious about like the sleep I would get. Even if I was getting like 4 hours of sleep, I was like, I'm just gonna go get in bed and sleep and that like get my 4 hours like guaranteed. Or get my like however much sleep I was getting. And also scheduling naps is very helpful.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here today with us. Success isn't just about checking all the check boxes, but it's more about curiosity, resilience, and just staying true to yourself while pursuing your goals. So, yeah, that's what like something that I've taken from you. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, your insights with us. It was great having you on the podcast, and I feel like a lot of young women will get inspired by you.
Thank you so much for having me, Vishaka. It was very nice to meet you.
Same here. I hope like you have a great time there, and yeah, good luck for your career.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.